Jeff Gordon is the leader of the 53rd Mountain Dew Southern 500 at Darlington. He has won this race on 4 different occasions. And right now he's out in front of Ryan Newman by 1.7 seconds. Sterling Marlin is faded 4 seconds back to 3rd. Jimmy Johnson is 4th. Bobby Labonte is 5th. And the rest of the top 10 are Bill Elliott, Rusty Wallace, Tony Stewart, Mark Martin, and Robbie Gordon.
Ooh, man.
Now, the left side doesn't look too bad, BP, but the right side is pretty dirty.
And this car's going down the backstretch. See, down the front stretch, it's not really a problem because the sun is at Rusty Wallace's back. It goes down in turn 1 at about 171 miles per hour. Up to 3 and 4, up against that wall. Well, let's don't hit that thing. And here's where the problem starts. As he goes down the backstretch, approaching turn 3, he's driving into the sun. And what do you see, folks? Nothing.
Losing a spot there to Tony Stewart. That was 7th place. But you'll notice there's a big difference in the quality of the view on the left side of the windshield, right where the driver is,
right,
than the right side of the windshield.
They just tear, it's like a new skin. They just tear that outer skin off, and you can see where they haven't on the right side, but they have on the left side.
And this racetrack, the surface is so much sand and things just in this area. Anyway, windshields are a problem. I can't imagine what they did before those tear-offs.
And a lot of the rubber.
Yeah.
Because the seashells on the racetrack tear these tires apart. You get a lot of rubber off the racetrack and hit the windshield. And it's just like all these little black dots on the windshield. So when you come in for a pit stop, one of the first things you ask for is, hey, get a guy to tear out the windshield for me.
Team Caliber 360 Racers got some tear-offs out of today, huh, BP?
Yes, we sure do. And here's what they do. They come in and the guy goes across the wall. NASCAR allows the guy to come to the driver's aid. He just rips it off. Hey, wow, brand new windshield. It's terrific. I wish they'd had these when I was driving. Why did you have those when you were driving?
Yeah, we did. We did have those.
Got multiple layers on there. You see one.
Let's try one more.
There you go.
Watch that. Rip it right off, huh?
Perfect. Perfect. And because we started a couple of hours late today, that sun is really going to get to be at a severe angle late in this race. I can remember watching the race here. I think it was the 86 Southern 500, Benny, where we had a long rain delay, and Tim Richmond and Dale Earnhardt and Bill Elliott all took turns driving straight into the wall between what's now turns 3 and 4. Because they could barely see.
Because they couldn't see. I mean, you saw what and they did not have tear-offs back then. And you saw what Rusty Wallace was seeing out the right side of his windshield. Nothing. They cleaned the windshield with water and soap and what have you. But here, there's a lot of sand at this racetrack. There's a lot of grit coming off the racetrack. It hits the windshield and it literally sandblasted to the point that you can't clean it.
Jeff Gordon still running the fastest laps of anyone right now, expanding his lead over Ryan Newman with 100 laps to go in the Southern 500.
The Mountain Dew Southern 500 on TNT, brought to you by Dodge. You can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. By Jack Daniel's Original Hard Cola, come as you are. And by Kellogg's Cereals, the official breakfast food of NASCAR.
Just past 350 miles in the Mountain Dew Southern 500. Jeff Gordon leads Ryan Newman by a second and a half. Sterling Marlin, the championship leader, runs 3rd.
But Ryan Newman is getting a little bit closer to Jeff Gordon. He's starting to run just a little bit faster. He's gained about a half second in the last 3 or 4 laps. There he is. Not that far behind.
You see at the top of the screen, we're at lap 271. Now 272. Jeff Gordon took the lead for the first time all race at lap 240.
You see that last lap, Ryan Newman just a tick faster than Jeff Gordon.
Let's go back and check on some guys in the backside of the top 10 or just outside of it. Here's Elliott Sadler running in 12th in the Wood Brothers car. He started 25th. Dave?
Alan, he was a little tight at the beginning of this run. Then he was all quiet because this run actually started, it was on a restart again, and the car was a little bit better this time. In fact, he commented in his best Virginia twang, got me a good restart that time. That's Elliott Sadler. As for the 41 of Jimmy Spencer, they've been working on grip all day long, but even after Jimmy reported that they had the best grip all day, crew chief Doug Randolph decided to take 2 spring rubbers out of the rear, 1 out of each side. And Jimmy reported back in, that's the best grip I've had all day. He's a little bit tight now. They want to make a track bar adjustment when he comes in.
Jimmy running right now in 13th place. Just behind him is Kurt Busch. He's had an eventful weekend.
And it looks like Kurt Busch is trying to take that spot away from Spencer, and does. And Jarrett tries to squeeze in there.
So flapping around there.
Rear bumper. I don't know if somebody got in the back of him or when he slid up into the wall, it did that damage.
How about Dale Jarrett? Had those pit troubles at lap 235. Came out 21st.
There's the bumper.
I think that happened when he made contact with the wall.
When he striped it?
Yeah, when he striped it.
Tell you what, for starting last today, that's a pretty solid day so far, even after the contact with the wall. How about Kurt Busch, Matt?
Well, they did try repairing that right rear corner of that bumper where you see 2 big sheets of tape, and they also fixed that front valance, but apparently the tape is not holding. You can see it flapping in the breeze.
Yeah, they needed 170-mile-an-hour tape. They only had 130-mile-an-hour tape, and it came loose.
And Dale Jarrett running in 14th place now. I mentioned he fell back to 21st on his pit stop. He was 3rd. And had that air gun trouble, and he's trying to dig out of a hole. Got 92 laps left to try and get it done.
And there's the brothers Burton. Jeff in the 99 car, Ward in the 22. Bill, what are they saying about the 99 now?
Well, they checked the toe under that last caution, Benny, and it was not in half an inch. So they fixed it, Ward getting by him. He's out there doing the best he can. Obviously, when you hit the wall, the car's never going to be perfect, but they did fix it to the best of their ability under caution at a racetrack and send it back out. He's just a little bit too loose. They'd like to tighten him up. Marty?
Well, about 60 laps ago, I wouldn't have given you a nickel if you said Ward Burton would finish this race in the top 10. They were junk early in the race. In fact, his quote was, "The car's all over the place, Tommy," talking to his crew chief, Tommy Baldwin. "It's out of control." I didn't think he would be the defending champion of the Southern 500 after today, but who knows? The car has really come to life after that last adjustment.
So Ward around his brother to pick up that 15th spot. And next in his sights will be the big brown truck just ahead there. Next car up. Say somebody else having a good day who also put a Darlington stripe on his car earlier is Robbie Gordon.
Yeah, Robbie's up to 9th place. So he's running really good. He's running fast times too right now.
Just ahead of Dale Earnhardt Jr. there. Matt?
Alan, the team that Robbie Gordon had prepared his car for today, finished 3rd here back in the spring with Kevin Harvick. I asked crew chief Kevin Hamlin, "What's your driver saying about his car?" He says, "Well, the car is tight in and loose off, and he just hit the wall again." I said, "What's that, like the 6th time?" He said, "Try the 7th or 8th. He says, "We're not going to win any beauty contest with this car today, but we might come home a nice top 10 finish at a place where the driver just does not like."
Troubles for Elliott Sadler. Was that left rear tire flat when he came around that corner?
I couldn't tell, but unfortunately, if he makes his pit stop now, he's got to make another stop before the day is done. Dave?
They're here, Benny, but the left rear looks okay. It does have the Goodyear knocked off of it, so he's obviously been in contact with something. Right rear comes off. It's full of air, too, so it must have been something Elliott was feeling. A lot of concrete dust falling out of that left rear, too. Actually, not out of the left rear. That'd be the wrong wall. But he's back out.
Did you see the tire changer kick the car when he rolled out?
They've had so much trouble here lately. They failed to finish 3 of the last 4 weeks. And there's a lot of frustration there, I'm sure. Jeff Gordon leads. 87 laps to go. Can he pick up his 5th win in the Southern 500 and take a victory for a 2nd straight week this season? Coming up on the 400-mile mark of today's Mountain Dew Southern 500. TNT live at Darlington Raceway in South Carolina. A 2-hour delay for rain pushed the start of this event back, but the weather broke. Looks like we're going to see the full distance today. We could be seeing Jeff Gordon's assault on the NASCAR Winston Cup Championship.
Southern 500, Cale Yarborough has won this race 5 times, and Cale, all those 5 victories as big as they get for him because he grew up in Timminsville, South Carolina, about 15, 20 miles from here.
Jeff, of course, his 4 wins all came in back-to-back years, 95, 96, 97, and 98. He's got 81 laps to go. Leaders all pitted at lap number 235. That was with 132 laps to go. That would leave him 2 equal 66-lap runs. We expect to see him in about lap 300, 301.
And that time, Ryan Newman was a little faster than Jeff Gordon going down in turn 1, but Jeff passed a car. Might have been. This time going in turn 3. Yeah, Ryan Newman much faster than Jeff Gordon. 2 miles per hour. Is that 3 miles per hour?
Last lap, Newman ran 3/10 of a second quicker than Jeff.
That might have been the 21 car that we caught going through there because he's out there, Elliott Sadler, on fresh tires. And, boy, he is Superman now, that 21 car. I'm told when they're down in the TV compound that those numbers were correct. Ryan Newman that much faster going in turn 3.
Well, he'll catch him pretty quick if he's going that much faster.
We're creeping in on those what could be final pit stops if this thing goes green to the finish. So let's take a break here so we're back in time before the leaders head for pit road. Gordon's out in front, 78 laps to go here in Darlington.